Wait, before the hand motions were combined with mouth words.
Actually, I think I am going to reduce my hand movements.
Why?
I'm going to reduce them.
Why would you do that?
It's just,
they took away the chat, they killed Bone Palm, now you're gonna take away the hand motions. What are you doing? Destroying high power? You're killing the community or something? What is this?
I'm going to make him more
What is
civil.
this?
I'm going to make him a little bit more civil. Because, you know, to be
What
really
don't
honest,
you fucking understand, man?
To be honest, I think actually there might not have been that many people who liked him. Actually.
Oh, dude, come on.
Maybe it's my self-esteem.
That really, that's like Brad Pitt going, maybe just not a lot of people think I'm attractive. Maybe I'm ugly.
And that's what this clip will be about, guys. This clip will be about social validation.
Exactly.
Social validation. Social feedback from friends, from, you know, family. Just all the social feedback you get, how you work with it, how you let it subconsciously or even consciously determine who you are and like act upon it, let yourself be put into a certain role, or perhaps act differently upon it and actually turn it into something that, you know, takes you the other way, stuff like that, and how it in the end affects your identity. First we're gonna go over a few like posts on the social network of people, you know, just checking what some of the iPower members thought about social validation, their thoughts and feelings on it.
First up is Nick, one of the first replies, who made a point out of saying that there are subcultures when it comes to social validation. And it differs from subculture to subculture how these people seek validation or even stop caring about validation from people outside of their subculture. Another point that was made by Hiba is that self-esteem is basically the cure for social validation. Like if you have self-esteem, that stuff affects you a lot less, and that it's all a debate of nurture, like your education, where you brought up as you know, a confident person, where you brought up with a lot of love and respect, or were you bullied and stuff. There's a reply from Alan. What Alan was saying basically is that it comes down to an insecurity about fitting in.
So, why do we want to talk about social validation? The reason why we really thought it would be cool to make a clip about it is because there's this huge paradox there, and that is that all this stuff kind of arises out of where you are in terms of self-esteem. If you have low self-esteem, then you will automatically be a person who's constantly looking for social validation. It's just how it is. I mean, we all end up there sometimes, right? We're kind of like looking for a reaction, like maybe I can say this, maybe I can say that, and kind of being needy in that sense. But if you're a person with very solid, high self-esteem, the paradox is that you stop doing all that. You're not trying to get people to like you, but somehow, you know, just by freely expressing yourself and just being yourself, people will start liking you a lot more. And the interesting thing here, I think, is that even if you're a person with low self-esteem who's very, very good at manipulating people and like at getting the right reactions, you still won't get the kind of enthusiastic, spontaneous, just great vibe from people as someone who's like at a high self-esteem place.
Yeah, in itself, it doesn't sound like a very bad thing, like you're doing stuff to get people to like you. But the problem is that in many cases, it makes you be not genuine. It makes you change yourself, your principles, your taste, your personality. I can speak for pretty much all of people who have had that happen to them when I say that it's uncomfortable. No one likes that. No one likes it when someone sort of seeks social validation and obviously changes himself to get it. It's not, no one really looks for that. So we all try to do it at one point. Ironically, it's never what we want people to do for us.
What I think is like the really fascinating thing is that you have like people who go really far into trying to get into a place where they get all the social validation they need. Like for example, people may get like really far into studying body language and may get like really into like, okay, I've studied body language, I know exactly how to behave to be like, you know, to be a cool guy, or you know, whatever, to be like this guy that people will like, and they'll try all these things. But the fascinating thing is that it doesn't work. It just doesn't work, because for someone to come across as having like completely being comfortable with himself and having high self-esteem and all that, that shines through in like all these like countless tiny subtleties, and all these subtleties make people like communicate to people on very subtle levels, like, look, this person is comfortable with who he is or who she is, and it's like must be just cool and fun to hang around with. But if you're trying to mimic it, it's impossible. Just impossible to, on a conscious level, imitate all those subtleties. You just can't do it. And if you try to, you know, people will still like see that there's something awkward going on. On some level, they'll feel it. Like, what is going on? What is this guy trying to do?
But even if it works, even if you can do it so well that it works, you're still not handling the problem, because it's more of a self-development thing than anything. Basically, you have sort of an inferiority complex or a self-esteem issue somewhere that makes you find other people have more value than you, and you have to seek their validation to feel good about yourself. That's the problem. So in that sense, I think it's always very important to be aware of the underlying cause of your behaviors and the way you see things, and try to deal with things at the root and not, you know, just on the surface.
What you could do is, for example, just go out and talk to lots of strangers. I mean, not just like ask them, you know, what time it is, or, you know, when is this bus coming or something. No, like actually really talk to them, like, hey, how has your day been? And shit like that. And the thing is that at first this is going to be actually like really difficult and awkward for you. But as you do this, your brain starts to learn like, hey, you can like be completely yourself, because this is important, right? You're not going to go out with like some sort of routine or whatever. You're going to go out and just be yourself. You know, if you fucking like Star Trek, go out and talk to people about Star Trek. I'm serious.
He did that, by the way.
I did that.
He went out, he talked to people about Star Trek.
Just be yourself.
I was there.
And try, like, at first you will not succeed at this, because you will feel awkward and you will not be yourself. But after a while, your brain will like learn like, well, you know, maybe you just made a fool out of yourself for a bunch of people, but your brain will tell you like, you made a fool out of yourself, but still, you know, nothing really bad happened to you. So you start to learn that all that social validation isn't really that important to your survival, and it starts to become something more natural, and you start to become more comfortable with, you know, just throwing whatever you are out there. And that's when you start to become like really aware of the fact like, hey, you know, I can just be chill with myself. And that's, you know, for me personally, that's been such a crazy fucking process.
Take us like a year, like 2 years, 3 years ago, we were horrible. We didn't talk to anybody. We stayed indoors, shooting our videos. We did not go out.
Don't go in detail, man. Don't go.
We were horrible.
Don't.
Now, we go out, whenever we go out, we talk to a bunch of random strangers. You know, people on the bus, people on the train, people on the street, people in shops. We just open conversations randomly with people we do not know. We meet tons of cool people now, pretty much every day that we go out.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, we could like, I could walk up to someone, like start a conversation with something completely fucking random. Like, you're like, do you like pancakes? You really look like a person who totally fucking digs pancakes, man. I could do that. I'm serious. And like, if it comes from a place of authenticity, like some like, if it looks like you're just having fun,
like you really want to know if you like pancakes.
if it's really obvious that you're just being chill and you're just doing it because you like to do it, not to get some sort of reaction, most people will go along with it because they see like, this guy isn't trying to get anything out of me. Like, it's just some dude having fun. Maybe a bit weird, but okay. And they,
it's not a scheme or anything.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing. That's if once you hit that high self-esteem, where you kind of get there pretty fast if you do this kind of stuff, it just shines through in all your body language that, you know, it's all chill, you know. You can, like, you're just self-amused, you're just having fun, and you'll have such a great vibe with so many people. Of course, I mean, it's not a fix-all for everything. There's still gonna be people who think you're weird, and also, it's not something that permanently fixes, like, your complete self-esteem, you know, forever or something. You're still gonna have moments where, you know, you're kind of finding yourself trapped in trying to get a reaction again, being obnoxious perhaps to people because, you know, you're used to getting high self-esteem, used to getting people in a great vibe easily, and then sometimes it might not work, and you might like be trying to say stuff that's, you know, usually great, trying to be yourself, but actually you're like obnoxious. I mean, that still happens. I mean,
if there's anyone out there who wants to try this as an exercise, I do have to give you one really really good piece of advice that I wish people told me back when I did this, and that is, do not be dependent on results. Do not make it a goal to have positive interactions or have people you know, react well to you, because for all you know, you may pick 5 random people that are having a terrible day.
So yeah, this was like an interesting subject for us too, to like kind of highlight, because, you know, as Dean said, we've been, for a long time, we had been like so hardcore into all that we've done that we kind of, you know, stopped socializing with a lot of people for a long time. And it was really interesting because we're like getting into a few projects now that require us to talk to lots of strangers every day. And it was very interesting kind of finding that other like very freely expressive side of ourselves, and like realize that you have to let go of all the social validation mechanics and just have to completely be yourself and just have fun, like completely careless, to be able to get into that really completely being yourself and just being fun around people.
Just trusting yourself is basically what it comes down to, because you can trust yourself to be socially expressive and not do anything completely unnecessarily bad. You know, nothing terrible is going to happen if you just socially express yourself freely.
Yeah, that's really, like, that's a big part of that paradox. The thing is that, like, for example, like even if you like approach someone, just someone who seems cool on the street, right? Just think like, I would want to have a chat with that guy or that girl, you know, and you have like no idea what you're gonna say. It's still, like, in most cases, the best results is what will happen if you just approach anyway and not even think about what you're gonna say. Just not even think like, oh, maybe I can start talking about the weather and then this, or not even think about it. Just say like, look, my brain has these social capacities. I'll start talking and it will work. I mean, I have these capabilities. I may not even know what the hell will happen or be able to imagine what the hell will happen, but it will fucking work. For all you guys who are naturally, like, you know, awesome socially, we're sorry about this clip. I mean, for these people, this clip must be kind of boring. And it's like, you know, for those people, it's like, you know, what's up with these fucking social
probably
retards?
Like 4 guys watching this video,
I mean,
going like, what the fuck are these guys saying, man?
But yeah, I mean, like, we thought it was cool to highlight and to, like, really get into it, because a lot of people really have issues with this kind of stuff. And, you know, I mean, myself included, definitely until recently. And you too, you know. I mean, just because we've been, like, you know, for ourselves then, we've been, you know, so hardcore into, like, our kind of, like, our activism and all our projects and stuff. We had lost touch. And it was a really interesting process that we've just gone through. Kind of like, you know, becoming a lot more social again. And that kind of led us to some realizations, and we thought, like, we had to make a clip about it. Yeah, that's pretty much that. So there was a great discussion on the forums about it, and like lots of awesome replies. We had a great time reading through that, and we recommend you check it out if you want to partake in it and stuff. Link in the sidebar.
Also, major thanks to Vijay and XZ. Awesome that you guys made video replies.
They're
links are in the sidebar, right
just
there.
Check their vlogs. iPower Vloggers for the win.
iPower Vloggers for the win, definitely.